This week, Game Scoop is sponsored by Hims.
Come get some. Beware,
IGN Game Scoop.
That's our new soundboard. What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hadfield. Joining me this week is Justin Davis,
Scoop.
Sam Claiborne.
Why do we start with Justin?
And Mark Medina. And the reasons that we started with Justin, Sam, is that some people were very upset last week that I didn't lead with Justin.
They were very perturbed.
But Mark is nearest to you.
Game Scoop listeners are people of habit.
Okay.
They want to. It's a ritual.
I'm glad you didn't say creatures of habit. All right. I think
People
that would be
of habit.
condescending.
And people of good taste.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest, I was just coming in here to look for the broom and got pulled onto this podcast. I don't know what's
That's
going
some
on.
sort of a joke about this being the broom closet.
Yeah.
I think it was a
sure
good joke.
is.
I don't think we needed to shame him for that joke. I liked it.
Thanks, Sam.
This is a good sized room.
But
It's
seriously,
the old podcast.
I do see you using the
Well-
broom, and the whole office is carpeted, and I just think it's not working.
Medina,
I know,
you actually
I know.
dated yourself because Columbia is actually the old podcast room.
You're dating yourself,
Yeah.
Justin, because the old podcast room is in another city.
And I'm explaining to both of you, or to our audience, that Columbia is an office that you can, or what would you call it?
Office.
It's a conference room.
Conference room.
Room that you could rent here in the office.
Well, you don't have to rent it. You can just book it.
Yeah, you have to book it. Sorry.
Sam's like, oh, so many years. I'm
You
going
can just
broke.
book it. And Columbia is based off the video game BioShock Infinite.
Oh, shocking, yeah.
We got a great show for you this week. The classic BioShock Infinite sound.
Are we gonna are we gonna still let Sam control the soundboard?
Sam,
Well, I moved closer to it.
Sam is his own person. I can't, I'm not in control of Sam. So
That's true.
we do have, we do have a great show for you this week. We're going to talk about the Google Stadia. All of the stadiums.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
The Google Stevia.
Really just the
is what
one.
I've already seen
But
it referred
Stadia
to
is
as.
stadium plural.
Yeah.
Also, a gigantic, big anticipated gaming console has been delayed. We're going to talk about that too.
Oh, no.
But first, quick reminder, next week at PAX East, I will be there doing a Game Scoop panel with Brian Altano, Seth Macy, and Sydney Goodman. That is next Thursday, March 28th, 12:30 p.m. in the Albatross Theater.
Is it gonna be online later?
I think they might stream it live.
Wow.
I have to double check that.
Those are very funny people. That's going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be really, really fun. That's so if you're going to PAX East Thursday, definitely come and hang out with us. But announced this morning, finally, after so much speculation and rumor, Google revealed its streaming service. It is called Google Stadia.
So how would you describe this one, Damon?
It is a video game streaming platform that will allow you to, as I say, stream AAA games to anyone who has a Chrome browser. Any device that has a Chrome browser.
Yeah, so basically anything with a color screen.
High quality gaming, they say they're aiming for 4K at launch, 60 frames per second on any device that you have.
Assuming your internet can handle it and it's a 4K display, obviously.
Yeah, they're in that.
So yeah, anything that has a Chrome browser includes all mobile phones, all tablets, not other game consoles.
Yeah, and then the hardware
Yes.
they do have is a controller.
Yeah.
So that's, there's a controller that...
And it's funny to see controllers that are being invented now because we've kind of come to a standstill on controller development. This looks exactly like the Switch controller, which looks exactly like the Xbox controller, which looks like
well,
just
people
like
say that, but
the last one.
the analog sticks are aligned like the DualShock 4.
That's true.
Well,
I had to
right.
mix it up a little bit by stealing from someone else.
I do prefer offset analog sticks, but
Sure.
to Sam's point that like controllers used to diverge wildly, and like
true.
those days are pretty much over now. Like
That's true.
now you get the 4 face buttons, the 4 shoulder buttons, and 2 analog sticks. And
Well, if you consider the PlayStation 1 controller, the N64, and the Saturn, clearly PlayStation 1. That's like more of the model of today's controller.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually a really good take. I mean, I think that especially the DualShock was it allowed you to play games with 3D and cameras that you can move separately, and that's basically the big advance that we've stuck with from here on out.
I also appreciate that certain genres, like FPS, by the way, like there's certain games doing its own thing, like Halo, but for the most part, like even controls in some, like there can be games that I've never played in my life, and I can pick it up and like this is probably aim down sight. This is probably going to be jump. This is probably going to be some sort of action button. Like,
They still switch it up so much.
Like they did switch it up with
especially across Japanese and American.
You get like Red Dead. You know, some
Yeah,
games are
exactly.
really
Oh,
doing
Red
that
Dead
kind of
was,
stuff.
yeah.
Going from Assassin's Creed to Red Dead was so funny. Just jumping or punching your horse or whatever, just constantly just screwing up.
Horses getting punched all the
And
time.
then the whole town's after you.
Yep.
And then it was
Unless it's Assassin's Creed, then nobody cares.
What is the point of the Wild West if you can't punch your own horse?
and then it was like Assassin's Creed Origins and God of War that decided now for this melee action game, you're going to start using the triggers to attack.
Yeah.
It's funny. I switched them for both.
Yeah.
Because I played Origins and I was like, I don't like this. And I switched it. And then when I played God of War, I was like, oh, this is like OG Origins. And I switched that one too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Google
saying,
Stadia
I'm
is
fighting it.
a competitor to PS4, Xbox.
Yeah. It is
And
not.
on live.
There's not a. I'm sorry.
It's a competitor to OnLive.
And to OnLive.
It is not a game console.
But there's no
It
box.
is a game streaming service.
But it's going to give you, as they say, it'll give you access to high quality AAA gaming without a console.
Yeah.
With the asterisk that your internet speed has to support it, right?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
They walked
but I
Dylan
mean-
Cuthbert out there. Did you see that?
Yeah, but it
Inventor
could
of
be
Star Fox.
it could be like they say it's twice as powerful, or it's as powerful as a PS4 and Xbox One put together.
Yeah.
So it's like now you can get in theory, higher quality gaming without a console.
I like
It's
it.
interesting.
I think it's cool. I think, Sam's brought up many, many times that much of America and the rest of the world is not going to have high enough internet speeds to support this, which, that's completely valid. But there are never going to be fewer people that have fast internet than there are today. Tomorrow, there will
That's
be
true.
more than there are today. And if there's
Unless
already...
there's some sort of apocalyptic event.
Yeah, that's true. I should caveat that with we'll see what happens.
And then that'll be
We'll see who
everyone's
wins the
main
election.
concern. How am I going to game now?
Yeah.
The world is in ruin.
But I think
And
that,
also
that speaks
irradiated
to,
water.
There's so many other systems that have tried to do this already, and Google is the biggest, and they can do it better.
Yeah. They have-
maybe. But that doesn't matter if still most people can't use it.
Well,
And so
but-
being there first and being there big is pretty good right now for them. But it looks really good. But I don't see why 5 years is going to make any difference for them to make this work.
But that's the point
But
where
there-
I do disagree a little. It's you say it doesn't matter if most people can't use it. I'm like, well, but they know Google is a big company, a smart company, and they know that I'm going to make up a number, but they know that there's 50 million households in America whose internet's fast enough, and they know that in 10 years there'll be 60 or 70 million, and then you extend that out to other countries in the world. So, I'm completely sensitive to if you watched that presentation and you'd said, "Look, my download speed's slow. I can't use this." That's not great, but we didn't level that same complaint at Netflix when it introduced 4K streaming.
That's what I want to say. This is streaming these games is going to be like streaming Netflix. The
Which you
power
can't do in the Midwest right
the
now.
power of
very
the
well.
Well, I disagree with that. I can do that at my sister's place in Olathe,
But
Kansas.
I had trouble doing that.
Sure.
And if you
And you're
if
you're
doing any other thing,
your family's in a
along
little
with
bit more of a
Netflix.
rural area than where my sister lives. But you're the power of their data centers that's running the game isn't reliant on your internet connection. They're just streaming that screen, the image to you.
But they showed a graphic of their data center, your internet provider, and you.
Yeah.
And it's the ISP that the internet provider is the problem.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing where there's a lot of glossing over that ISPs can't handle that right now.
I guess I'd want to see two TVs next to each other, seeing a Netflix movie being streamed in 4K
Yeah.
versus a Blu-ray or 4K
Netflix
Blu-ray.
4K is not 4K Blu-ray 4K. That's
Right, and so it's
completely
it's 4K, but by the time it gets to you, what is it? My bigger problem is not even graphics fidelity; it's latency.
Sure.
These have already existed for a while. GeForce Now and Shadow is really big, and we have a guy here in the office that uses Shadow, and he says, "Oh, it's great."
Who's that?
I can't rat him out.
Why would? How is that ratting him out? Is it shameful to be using this?
It's Mike Quinn, one of our video editors, and he says it's great here in the office, but
Yeah.
at home maybe not so great. But that's because IGN has really good internet.
The latency is a super real. You're in Damon, you and I just equated it to streaming 4K on Netflix, but where that does break down a little bit is you have to then interact with that game, and
That's
it
true.
still has to feel good.
Once Netflix starts, you're
Yeah.
good. It's not nothing's going to change.
Or even if it does stutter, you get 5 minutes in and you have to wait 5 seconds, that doesn't feel great. But that's not that big a deal. But that's a much bigger problem
Right.
in the
The
context
moment
of
you
a
pick up
multiplayer
Call of
video
Duty
game.
and it lags a little bit, you're going to put it down and get to the PS4 version.
I think that's why. I don't think it's a coincidence that that's why they showed off Assassin's Creed Odyssey. By the way, because I love that game to death. It's my I think it might be my favorite game of last year, but it is like a little bit slow, a little bit
Not
sluggish.
super twitchy.
Yeah, it's not super twitchy, and
Yep.
so it's a it's an excellent game to demo on a streaming service like this versus something like I don't know, like Apex Legends.
No matter how
Yeah.
how big Google is, they're not gonna break the speed of light. And there's actual problems with saying where your computer is doing the work versus where your controller is doing the inputs. That is an actual physical problem to overcome. That unless you are having those servers in your state, you are introducing, very, very, very slight delays, doubled because it has to go, get calculated, come back to you at doubled at the very least. There's just no way to overcome that. And we have never seen a time in which we're interacting with Twitch gaming remotely, and because you just have to set up infrastructure for that. And Google may want to do that for a lot of people, but they can't do it for everybody.
But you don't even like Twitch gaming.
What does that mean?
That's not the style of game that you enjoy
Arcade
personally.
games?
Well, old school arcade games, yeah.
That's probably my
I mean,
favorite
if
thing.
you play a platformer, that's got.
Well, what you guys aren't thinking
that's
about
not
though
good.
is that I love first-person shooters, and if first-person shooters are messed up in single player, that is a problem. That is a big problem. Also, music games, Rock Band's one of my favorite games of all time. That clearly just wouldn't even work.
I'm supportive of anybody that wants to share, a different and more progressive and futuristic vision for the future of gaming. And I don't think it's an indictment of this service, or it shouldn't exist if it doesn't work for everyone in the beginning.
That's a really good tech take, but then there's another thing we're not talking about where this is one of the world's largest corporations, and they are in it for money and not for art.
Well, everybody's in it for money.
That's not true. There's plenty of developers that are in it for the art, and I respect that. And I think it's really cool to see.
Like the companies that we talk about on this show every week are some of the biggest companies on earth, including Microsoft.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm skeptical of their ability to set up an entire pay infrastructure and say, this is how you're going to pay us to play video games from here on out. I have the same skepticism about Disney and everybody else starting streaming services. I don't think we're going to be saving money in this scheme. Like, it's not going to happen. So you're blocking people out by technology, and then you're going to set this pricing scheme which says, like, can you ever buy a used game again? No. So most people in the United States buy used games. Like, this is a serious problem that we're going to be facing, where everything can be set by a single, very, intent on making a profit corporation, and there's not going to be competition to like get stuff on that platform.
That was something that I was kind of sad that they didn't go into at all, was price point, because it's like, you buy a PS4 and that's it. That's your PS4. You're not paying. I mean,
Then you get PS Plus.
sure, but like if you're just going to play a single player
And
game,
the PS4 also costs $400.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really
it sure does.
big hurdle to get into.
But once you have it, and then you're paying for the games, where you get something like, we'll just go off Shadow. You still have to buy the games, and then it's $30 a month to use. After a year, you've now caught up to way more than what a PS4 costs. It's like $500 a year. You could have just bought a PS4 because you're still buying the games anyways. Somebody on Twitter mentioned about how it's like, oh, I think the games would come with it, and I 100% think that would be the case. That would be too much of a steal if every game was suddenly also free.
My expectation is that there will be an Xbox Game Pass style subscription service that may or may not support the big AAA third party games from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But certainly, game preservation is important to me, and the ability to control your media, and I have a stack of games that I can turn into money if I want to, is important to me. But you do have to buy the box. You can play a game at a friend's house or read an IGN review to tell you if a PS4 is good or not. But it's kind of anti-consumer that you have to buy this $400 PlayStation box and this $400 Microsoft box and this $300 Switch box to play these video games, compared to a vision of you can pay $0 and use the Chromecast that's already in your head in your house.
But you're paying monthly for the service.
Yes, but that's a lot of months to total up the price of a game console.
Yeah,
If
but
it's $10, if it's $15 a month, whatever.
If it's a $400 console, that's
I just can't imagine it would be any less than like $40 or $50 a month.
Well, that's why I said
I think that's too much. I don't think people would pay that. They pay that for one whole year of Xbox
Right,
Live.
well,
That's
so-
a
and that's
PlayStation 4 a year.
That's what I'm saying, though, is like that's where I'm having trouble like seeing this vision become a reality, is because this service somewhat already exists already with GeForce Now and Shadow. This seems way better than those, but then it's also going to be cheaper.
Well,
That's
Google-
and I know it's Google. I know
Google could
That's called
afford,
dumping.
I was going to say, Google could afford to spin this up at a loss, but That's called dumping, and it's illegal.
Yeah. And at some
Soundboard.
point, and at some point, you know, it's no different than the cable that you have in your house now, where like it's cheap for a year, you know, right?
Yeah.
But if Google's going to be in this business for a decade, you know, into perpetuity, like at some point they will have to make it profitable.
I mean, I do wonder. I mean, Xbox has it figured out where they're doing Game Pass for $10 a month, which is just like a steal.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously they probably have something figured out where it's like, hey, we can't do this at a loss because in the long run we'll make money here or there.
I'm also just generally supportive. This is what I was talking about a few minutes ago. Just philosophically, like a vision, like the technology that we use is informed by like how it is that consumers are insisting that what do they want it for, right? Like because of the spread of Netflix and streaming content and other streaming platforms, that's forced ISPs to, you know, be faster sooner. And that's you know, it's like we've always seen video games and pornography, frankly, like moving internet and online technology forward and sort of dragging people along with this vision of like, here's what the future should be and what technology is capable of. And so in that sense, you know, Google, I think, is very well positioned to you know, sort of force a vision of the future that I think, you know, will have all these other like spillover benefits in different ways.
I wonder how they're going to pay developers.
That's another big question mark.
Like, I think the music industry is being completely ruined by the internet. Like, nobody gets paid to make music anymore except for, like, the select few huge stars. There's no in-between. You can get music for free or you can get it through Apple, and that's the sole shop. And if you sell stuff on Apple, you don't really make money. You have to sell it in such high volume. It was so much better for artists, even especially when they could put out independent records, which they still can do, to sell their own stuff and to or sign a great record deal to make money off of their own stuff. And game developers have that option right now. And there's great people that work with indies. I've been talking to a lot of them over the last couple of days. And there's this whole thing right now about publishers and how much of a cut they take and stuff, right? I think iTunes is the best example of like how that can really become bad for artists. And I don't want to see that happen to games.
So is that
games is always kind of always
is that
kind of
the internet's fault or is that consumers' fault?
I don't know.
But I would argue that iTunes was really good for musicians because then independent musicians like myself all of a sudden could sell my music to anybody in the entire world.
So
it was it was streaming that was bad. It was streaming that was bad.
That's a good point. Yeah. And now people use Apple Music as more of a streaming platform probably than iTunes. But iTunes was a good step. Yeah.
The music industry got to enjoy, you know, 80 years of forcing people to buy a record for the two songs they wanted. That's the end of my point.
I definitely don't see it that way because there was singles and there was
but
and LPs should be good. I'm sorry, there's bad LPs out there, but I don't buy them, and I buy LPs every week.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. This is a brave new world, maybe a scary new world. That
I just think it's just going to be a really corporate new world, and I think that like we're going to see cool stuff come out of this, and it'll be fun for us to try it out. But I think we're just going to see this like class separation in gamers, and there already is one. But there's still people that can buy an old console and play old games and get into this stuff, and I don't want to see that go away. I don't want there to be such a bar to entry to playing games. You have to have the perfect internet, and you have to have a subscription fee, and that just doesn't seem like the world I want to live in.
There's also just the fact that I think gamers are a little bit unique is that they buy this $400 box and they feel they love it, right? They feel they love. They feel like they're participating in like an ecosystem and a family. And so like I think gamers like on some level buying that hardware and knowing that I've invested in this and now for the next 5 to 7 years this is like the home where I'm going to be doing all of my gaming.
Will we see that community build?
Well,
are people going to love Stadia that way?
Like, they have a really interesting vision for community, which I don't know how much, Damon, you want to devote the show to this, but like we didn't even talk about any of its vision for community and online gaming.
It's
and
like YouTube is just built into the
It's really fascinating.
Idea of the console.
Like everyone,
system.
Gamers sort of claim to hate Always Online, but I think what they hate is like when Always Online is there, like when you're not getting anything back from it. Like it's only benefit to the developer for the DRM or for whatever reason. Like Google's presenting a really interesting vision for, you know, we know you're online because this is an only online service, and here's some interesting ways where that can manifest itself. Or like one person is sort of the commander on the battlefield and can see the screen of other people. That there's no processing cost or anything to seeing other people's views because because it's not actually rendering those pixels on your screen. You're just sort of streaming their viewpoint. Like,
same with like uploading stuff to YouTube. They were saying like one computer is giving you the image while another computer is putting it on your YouTube that you can just save.
and the sharing of the game states where like, I got myself into this situation in this game, you know, can you do better? Or having people join your game in real time, like all that stuff.
But that leads me to believe that you're not going to be paying for individual games if you have the ability to just jump into a game that someone else is playing.
Yeah, that
immediately.
was something that was I was a little weird about was when it said when it was like you see the trailer for Assassin's Creed Odyssey and you click a thing and in 5 seconds you're playing the game. It takes more than 5 seconds to type in credit card info to buy the game, so there's obviously something there that. So it does make me think that maybe it is more like on live or something like that, where it's like you're paying X dollars a month, and these are the games we have right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
they didn't talk about many actual games. You know, they did have Doom Eternal on there. They announced first party studios, but we don't know how vast their library is going to be when it launches.
Ubisoft and id Software, which is Bethesda ultimately. So.
Yeah.
When they had all those icons at the beginning, which a lot of people are breaking those down, and they're like, "This is the little gray squares," and they're like, "This one is Red Dead. This one was something else." Like they were taking all the icons and putting them together, and it's like. This is definitely this game, and so like they think that those are all like miniature teams.
Yeah, we wrote that up. You can look up that. You Google that. It's really cool to see Jade Raymond be involved in this. She's like one of gaming's foremost developers, and it's cool to see her at the top of that. And I mentioned earlier, Dylan Cuthbert was walked out to talk about some stuff, and he made the code for Star Fox, which is like some of the most impressive '90s code ever. And before that, X. So it's cool to see who they're associating with. He's still at Q Games, I think, so they're not hiring him, but.
And we know
it's neat to see that.
It's launching this year. We don't know exactly when, and we don't know, once again, that price point. So.
Yep. And it's going to be cross-platform, whatever that means, because obviously the other platforms have to say yes.
Cross-platform play.
And they kept on saying, "Oh, you'll hear more this summer," and they didn't say E3, but they said this summer.
Yeah.
There is an empty spot. There's an empty spot on Monday night of E3.
Yeah, and on the show floor, there's probably going to be some space that's just available.
That's actually true. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how this develops as we continue through 2019. Anyone know that one?
Super C, maybe?
No, but it is a Konami game.
I could tell it sounds very Contra-like.
It's Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
When you drop into Metal Gear at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. See, these are like I love the original Metal Gear on NES, but I don't pick up on. I don't know it by heart well enough to pick up the music track.
I feel asleep.
Yeah. The truck started to move.
Someone set us up the bomb. I mentioned another hardware that's been delayed. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'm afraid
probably something silly.
the Atari VCS.
Oh, really? It was delayed?
From this spring to late 2019.
Yeah.
They said the reason is to add new and improved tech to the console. Remember, this is the Atari VCS, the relaunch of the Atari hardware brand that was announced, I think, like 2 years ago now, maybe more. So now it's coming late this year. We still don't know about distribution partners, what peripherals, what the UI looks like, what games are, what sort of.
But didn't they already announce that it already had like fairly modern chipsets and stuff inside of it?
Yeah,
and it was going to play way more than just Atari games. Did I dream that, or was
I think you're right.
And the big reveal was at GDC last year.
Yeah,
we saw.
That's right. Yeah,
and
But then Stadia, they saw some leak and they're like, "We got to delay. We got to compete."
Yeah.
Maybe the Atari VCS will be able to stream Google Stadia.
That's right. And I remember talking about this now because we weren't even sure which version of like corporate Atari was making it, just because the company's been split and sold and remade so many times.
Infograms is entertainment. And then, Sam, what's going on with the Intellivision?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to hear more about it this fall.
This fall? Fall 2019.
Yep.
All right.
Please be excited.
This week's Game Scoop is sponsored by Hims. Were you aware that 66% of men lose their hair by age 35? Fun fact, that's the same percentage of men who are being heckled by children on Fortnite right now, probably. That's so many, it is too many. None of us deserve that, but good news. Hims is here to help. With hair loss, not with Fortnite. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. With no waiting rooms and no awkward in-person office visits, 4hims.com can hook you up with well-known generic equivalents to name brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. Right now, GameScoop listeners can get a trial month of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. Restrictions apply. See website for full details. A pharmacy would charge you hundreds for that, but we've got the hookup for you because we like you. Go to forhims.com/gamescoop to get a trial month of Hims for $5. That's forhims.com/gamescoop, forhims.com/gamescoop. Anyone know this one?
I'm going to go with a top-down shooter.
That is Wolverine's level from X-Men Children of the Atom.
Whoa.
In arcades.
So I got Capcom right.
Yep, that's true. Gotta be honest with you. I thought we'd get a little bit more ground out of the Atari VCS discussion, but no one had much to say about that, so we're gonna move on.
Well, it's we were clobbered by new information today.
That's true.
It's hard to keep the old information in my brain.
That's true. Well, then let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com, just like Brett from Rising Sun, Maryland did.
Whoa.
It's a cool name.
That's a cool name. I had no idea there was a Rising Sun, Maryland.
I also
SON?
want to point out, by the way, that if we had known we were talking about the VCS, we may have had a little bit more to say.
But I never give you a heads up.
Thank you.
I can start doing that.
I found them. Listeners, I've been hitting keys a lot today, and you might not have heard the results because Damon has tried to hide from me the keys that he uses.
Yeah, they're mapped to this laptop keyboard here. I can certainly start sharing the tops with you. I thought sometimes you like to come in fresh so you can react. Anyway, Brett from Rising Sun, Maryland says, GameScoop is easily the premier video game podcast on IGN or any other publication or service for that matter. Thanks, Brett.
Agreed.
I look forward to the show every week to see what you guys are up to and what news has recently broken across all platforms, like the Atari VCS. Your recent edition of the Name That Video Game Tune is great, and I've got a cool suggestion for a name for that segment, Game That Tune.
I like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go with that.
I don't want to think about this anymore. Let's choose that one.
Henceforth, that segment is called Game That Tune.
What if it's been taken by somebody else?
Well, let's just not look.
Okay.
So we don't know.
All right.
Then we can plead
legal.
ignorance.
Legal if you're listening.
Your
to
Honor,
this.
I didn't know that name was already taken.
Go ahead and clear that name for us.
Yep.
I'm sure they check they exhaustively comb through every podcast.
Our legal department? Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I just ordered 400 T-shirts.
Thanks for making my commute enjoyable. I've tried before, but never had my 20 questions game selected. I'd like to try again. I bet Sam could get this one. Now, this is a game that I would not normally pick, but Brett thinks Sam could get it. Should we allow Sam a chance?
But you guys can help, though, right?
Is this like a separate? This is a special.
Yeah, this would be a special.
Okay.
All right,
we
10
can-
questions.
Speed round.
Boy.
Okay, let the question begin.
Is this from before 1990?
Yes.
Is this from before 1985?
No.
Did this game come out on NES?
Yes.
Was this in arcades?
Yes.
Okay. This should be easy.
Yeah.
Is this a Japanese game?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 5.
Do you shoot guns?
Yes.
Shoot hella guns.
Does this game have sequels?
No.
Is this a Capcom game?
No.
Oh, I was thinking Capcom.
Yeah.
It's like in 1942.
It could have worked. Is this a game where you're a person? Like, do you control a human?
Yes, but abstractly. You do not have direct control over a human, but you do control what the human does and where the human goes.
They're piloting a ship.
Oh, do you control a vehicle?
No.
Oh,
That's 10.
I've led you astray. You control where they go and what they does, but not directly.
What they does.
Yes.
Whatever, Mark.
Wow, this is really confusing.
I don't know.
Are we just going to keep going?
Brett
That's 10
thinks
questions.
Do you want me? Do you want to just give up?
Well, is this based on a license?
No.
And you said it didn't have sequels, right?
No.
It's Japanese made.
Is the company still around?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah.
Is it a Konami game?
No.
Whoa.
Could be Nintendo. They were making arcade games back then.
Yeah. Is it a Nintendo game?
It is.
It's also an arcade.
Wait. But it's from
After 85.
after 85. Mm-hmm. And it's on NES?
Mm-hmm.
So is it a sports game?
No. That's 15.
Uh-oh.
You asked if there's shooting in this, and there is a
Oh,
whole
yeah,
heck of a
there
lot of it,
Hogan's Alley.
but it may not be the kind of shooting you're thinking
that
of.
didn't come to arcade.
Is this the third game in a series?
No.
Okay. I thought it was Donkey Kong 3. That's why.
No.
But that was earlier than 1985.
You play as the ape, don't you?
You shoot a whole lot of stuff in this. I mean, I only know like arm wrestling and Punch Out and stuff from that late Nintendo period. Wow, what could it be? And it was on NES also.
Yes.
Stumped.
Is that it?
I don't have it.
Light gun games.
Yeah, I was sorry. That's Hook and Sally. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give up.
Oh, you guys got really close.
All right.
It was Gumshoe.
Oh,
Light
That
gun
came out
game.
in arcades?
Yeah. All this original
I guess I could have asked if it was a light gun game to you. And then
black box games were on NES or on like Play Choice.
They're just no play choice cabinet. Yeah.
That's the game where it's like a private eye is trying to get across the screen, and you shoot him to make him jump. It's an auto runner, and you shoot him to make him jump.
It's
What
insane.
year do you have for that?
86.
Yeah. I thought that would have been like 84 or something.
Well,
Cool.
thanks, Brett from Rising Sun, Maryland. Did you guys hear about? So StarTropics is on Nintendo Switch Online now, and there's a problem with it.
No, I hadn't heard.
Heard about this? So I've actually never beaten StarTropics. I've only played it here in
Did
the
they
office.
take the butts out from the Japanese version?
No. That's all of the StarTropics butts are still in there.
So what's the problem?
The problem is that in order to beat the game at the very, very end,
right,
you have
right.
to get off
Oh,
the
is it the
island
manual?
into to get the submarine to launch. There's a code
Yeah.
on a map that was included in the game box.
What
that
were
you have
they
to
thinking?
Reference. Now, when this game came to Virtual Console,
Yeah.
in the online manual, that explained that in there and gave you the little code.
Yeah.
That's not here in the Nintendo Switch Online, so you can't beat it unless you actually go like search for that somewhere.
We got to get a wiki page up.
Yeah.
Sam's got to go.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw a StarTropics walkthrough as like a trending term in this one tool I used this week too. That's
It could be, yeah.
That game doesn't actually have any multiplayer in it or anything, does it?
I don't think so.
I thought all the Nintendo Online games had like online play, as like like Boom Fight, like an online component.
Maybe they added something
If
to it.
they
I
had
don't know.
multiplayer, then they'll put that in. But yeah, that one doesn't.
I don't pay for Nintendo Online right now.
I have it. I'll check it out.
Well, when it comes time to beat StarTropics,
I don't ever need to play StarTropics again. I'll tell you that much.
It was cool. It came with a cloth map that you had to dip into water to reveal the code.
How cool is that?
Serious.
It's the best feelie.
Yeah,
Total feed.
pretty good. Let's share what we've been playing. Mark, can you share what you've been playing?
Yeah, totally. I've been playing a ton of The Division 2.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, you've been playing something else. Can you share that?
No.
Okay.
Wait, when does this go up?
I mean,
Let's just not risk it.
Maybe
No.
an hour.
just
or
don't
two.
risk it.
No.
Division 2.
No, I've been
then.
playing Division 2, and I'm gonna try to beat Devil May Cry, but I went away this weekend, and you know how it is when you're playing through a single player game, you're like blasting through it, and then you leave for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
It's not that bad.
I know.
If you like the game, it's not that bad.
I know. I like it enough.
You don't like it enough, or you do?
No, I do. I like it enough, but then like last night, I only had a few hours. Would prefer to put on Division. That's a good game. It's a fun game right there.
So Division 2 you like.
Yeah.
And did you like the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
So you're the audience for the Division.
Okay.
It
I accept your challenge.
The game, what I like about Division, one thing I like about it is its environmental storytelling. Like all the areas in the game, it's not just like generic apocalyptic city. Like there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on block to block. And then the lore of the game, the Division virus, happened at Christmas time, right? And so
Yeah.
the first game was set right after Christmas. It was snowy New York City at Christmas time. But now, since that's when the world went to shit, now it's the following summer in DC, and there's like decayed, decrepit Christmas
Yeah,
decorations.
there's still Christmas
now
stuff up.
still out in summer, and I just think that's a really interesting like nod to continuity. Like someone actually stopped to think like, okay, like if society broke down at this time of year, and now it's 6 months later,
Like
all the old rundown.
Who's
like,
going to take all the time to take all that
yeah,
stuff? Nobody.
Like,
It's
all
just gonna be
the
up forever.
all the like Christmas town is still up in front of the White House, and a lot of really interesting stuff. Like that.
It's like Fallout. Like every fall, it's always there's Halloween decorations everywhere because
Yeah.
the bombs dropped in October.
Yep.
So are you playing the Division, Justin?
No, I stopped.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I stopped right away.
But you started.
Yeah.
Wait, why'd you stop?
No, I talked about it on the show last week. I don't want to disparage the game at all. Like, I completely understand all the praise it's getting, and it seems like a very good looter shooter, but that's just not the thing for me right now.
Cool.
Mark, the bullet sponge humans don't bother you?
They're not spongy
No.
in the sequel.
So,
Not at all.
well, also in this game, they did a better job. So in the first game, it It was just like street people, and they're wearing they're wearing a
You had to
sweatshirt.
shoot him 1,000 times.
And this one is way more like organized military based. So when a guy comes out and he's super spongy, it's because he's wearing a bulletproof vest and stuff like that. And so like as you're shooting him, you're not really doing any damage. And then you'll see his helmet like knock off. And once his helmet's off, that's it. A couple of shots and he'll be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that is so smart. Like the gameplay itself is like very similar, right? But they just contextualize it in a different way. And
yeah, if you played the first one, you'll feel right at home with this one. But it feels more like, like they thought about that kind of stuff. And so the game plays the same, but they addressed it tonally.
Gotcha.
Do you like the world building stuff?
I think it's okay. It's post-apocalyptic, but like I prefer my post-apocalyptic to be more like Fallout, where you go to a house and you're like, there's a table set, and you're like, family
Mark,
was about to eat dinner.
Those are the people you're killing in this game.
You're right. This is just like
The
more.
scavengers are the people that you're trying to stop.
there's definitely some of that. The game makes absolutely no effort to explain. I mean, it's a sequel, so some of this is fair, but it does nothing to explain who you are or why you're doing what you're doing. It starts in media res, and then it's like, you got to get to Washington D.C. right now, and then like you get there, then it's like, hello, we're so glad you're here. We need your help, and I'm like,
I've paid
what
zero.
agency am I working for? Like, who am I? Like, it's
You're
insane.
part of the division.
Yeah, but what is the division? It doesn't even. There's not even like a prologue.
That's
Well, Mark, what is the division?
Well, so the first one's like really
I don't want to hear
cool.
about the first one.
No, well, I'm gonna explain it. So in the first one, it's like a firefighter. He or aren't they working? There you go. There you go. That'll show me. And the first one, it's like someone goes to like. They're like a firefighter, and they go to get in the truck, and their watch goes off. One was like they're playing with their kid, and their watch goes off.
It was
a
like
little
it was like a
division
secret
circle, and
defending.
so it's showing you that it's like you're part of this force that are called. It's like a draft, basically, and so
Like first responders in the event of everything just going wrong.
Yeah, so that's who you are. You're just a nameless person that like could have had a family, could have had a job, whatever. But the division called, and now that's it. You're part of that. So because they don't explain that in part 2, because they only explain it in part 1, it does kind of like leave you to, you're just a
Well, and
faceless
they're also
human
becoming
being.
like more mythical. Like they're not everywhere. They're not all over the city. Like in the lore of the sequel, there's only a few division agents like left still standing, and you're basically like super soldiers, but you're not. You're just I'm just a normal woman.
Right.
I don't know. It makes no sense.
But it's cool.
Sam, are you still playing Devil May Cry?
I played a little bit more, but I went to our we're a partner in this, the Indie Mix last night. Played a bunch of games. There's a bunch of games there about animals. There's a cool game there called Calico, which I did not get to play, but I wanted to, which you ride a giant cat around in, and it's very cute. And then there's
Is
a
that
game.
3D or 2D game?
Are you a mouse?
That's a 3D game. No, you're a girl,
You're riding a cat?
a giant cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a giant calico cat. It was amazing art style. It looks like Okami, but crazy.
And what's the genre?
Crazy.
Cat riding.
Crazy.
Cat riding simulator.
Indie
My
game.
favorite.
Yeah. I think you have something to do with the Cat Cafe in it too. Just so we're on the same page there. Goose Game looks Untitled Goose Game still looks amazing. I watched some people play that for it. But the game I played some games, but the one I played a lot, probably the most, and talked to was actually somebody who was produced by people that used to be in this building. Sam Kennedy and James Milkey from One Up back in the day. They had a game there called Jupiter and Mars. And,
VR game?
You can play in VR, but I did not play VR there. And it's a dolphin game. It's Echo the Dolphin like.
Oh, cool.
But it has like really like neon kind of sci-fi look, and you explore areas. It's like Metroid style. You can come back with new abilities and big kind of open underwater areas. And it was, I just started playing from the start, and I was totally drawn in. It's really cool. Good motion. Nice. And it's neat because you are a dolphin like in first person, but then there is a dolphin next to you that you like completely control also. So you're like a pair, I guess. And so it's like some of your actions have that dolphin like ram something to knock something down, but then some of them are you sending out sonar to like map out the area or whatever. It was great.
And these are all upcoming indie games.
That game's out in a month.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other interesting ones, but that was probably the highlight of game playing this week. And then we're going to play a bunch of Japanese indie games on Wednesday of this week, which we can report back on next week.
It's going to be great.
Cool. Justin, anything else that you're playing?
I've been doing a lot of Board Game Scoop lately.
Board Game Scoop.
I dug back out the Lord of the Rings card game, which is my favorite board game. Got some more plays of that in, and Marvel Legendary and the Arkham Horror living card game as well. So going on a big card game binge right now, and been organizing organizing them all is just as fun as actually playing the game. Getting it all sorted.
Yeah,
I've been
that is fun, right?
printing off dividers, and I bought a laminator.
Whoa.
I'm going to laminate all the dividers to get everything all like arranged perfectly. Whoa, it's so
It's
satisfying.
like inventory management in a game. It's totally fun.
yeah.
I do that with records and video games. Everything
Yeah.
I collect is just
great.
It's great to reorganize and get things looking good.
Alphabetize them. And then the video game I've been playing is I started the sequel to that JRPG I was playing last month.
Trails in the Sky?
Trails in the Sky. So the sequel is called Second Chapter, SC. Trails in the Sky, SC.
Cool.
It's supposedly like 70 plus hours long. So goodness gracious,
Yeah.
we're going to be hearing from me on that one for weeks and weeks.
Are you guys going to play Sekiro on Friday?
So I don't know. That game looks cool to me, but I'm not a Dark Souls or Bloodborne guy, so it's like.
But it looks like that.
But like
looks like
just
there's enough of
when I look at it, it just looks like a ninja action game.
Yeah.
You have
which
an
is
interesting
cool.
perspective
Yeah.
where, Damon, you love ninja games,
Yeah.
but you're not as wild about Souls-likes.
Yeah, so it's like I don't. So yeah, I'll give it a shot. Man,
It has a grappling hook, which is like
mean,
really appealing to me.
Yeah.
Like frankly, like I really like games with grappling hooks on them. It makes it fun to traverse.
I will at least give it a shot.
Are you gonna play it, Mark?
Yeah.
All right.
Move on.
I've been playing something that I missed when it first came out, but I always I suspected it would be a Damien game, and it is a Damien game
nice.
through and through. Let's see if you guys can guess it. This game was released in 2017. Mm-hmm. It was kickstarted.
Okay, that's it.
It was a type of game that used to be very popular, but isn't anymore. So they had to kickstart it.
top-down
to sort of
shooter?
Bring this back. Not a top-down shooter.
A brawler?
No.
You've been playing a lot of Metroidvanias.
Yeah, but this isn't that. It's a much
Those are popular now.
older style game.
Point and click. Oh, you probably played Thimbleweed Park.
I've been playing Thimbleweed
Oh
Park.
yeah, I saw you playing it last night.
And
I totally blinked.
after we talked about Maniac Mansion
Yep.
and the music and Maniac Mansion stuff, that's great.
Dude,
To be fair, I didn't
Ron
know
Gilbert.
Thimbleweed Park was Kickstarted.
You just reminded me. I keep meaning to give a shout out to. I bought this art book from I think Bitmap Books make it. Ooh, I hope that's right. The Art of Point and Click Adventure Games,
Like going all the way back.
and it is incredible. Like it's one of
Because
the
you can
best.
spread those like panoramas
Yeah,
out, right?
So it's like corner to corner. I almost said screen to screen for a physical book, but like corner to corner screenshots of like Monkey Island and all these old games. And they have interviews with all the creators, some of which are getting up there in age. I mean, obviously like Tim Schafer's younger, but some of the other ones are older. And so it's good to
Gilbert.
it's good to talk to them about the inception of the point and click genre. And then Thimbleweed Park it goes chronologically, and then it's then in there at the end of the book. Man,
this is brand new.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, it's an amazing book, and I keep meaning to give it a shout out on GamesCube. So
Cool.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
Mission accomplished.
I've really been enjoying Thimbleweed Park. This is from Ron Gilbert, the guy who made Maniac Mansion, one of the key guys in Maniac Mansion, and it's that type of point and click adventure game, even visually.
Did you play Broken Age?
I played Broken Age, yeah.
I like Broken Age.
Yeah, but that feels like a more modernization.
It's a new take.
A modern take on it.
The
This is
voiceover
like
so good in that game.
meant to look. Actually, they describe it as it's meant to play like you remember those games playing in your mind because they can be very clunky and obtuse.
Sure,
it's
that's a
much
good way to
more
describe it.
much more playable, but it's very funny. It's very witty. There's multiple playable characters, just like there was in Maniac Mansion. One of them is a young girl who's an aspiring game designer, and she wants to get a job at the most famous maker of adventure games, Mucus Phlegm.
That's really good.
It's awesome. So yeah, I've been playing Thimbleweed Park. It's like $7 on PS4 right now. So
I think it just got ported to Switch.
it is on Switch now too, but it's the full price on $20 on there. Takeout. And that brings us to the real video game 20 questions. Unless you can game that tune,
I
And
do.
it's not from a game we mentioned already?
maybe it is.
Dude,
It's just from Metal Gear?
That's the game over music from Metal
I was
Gear.
gonna say, game that tune drives me insane because I recognize them all, but I can't place a name to them.
I vaguely know that. Do they use that tune in other Metal? I don't think so. There's always
I mean,
when Snake dies in Metal Gear
They're
Solid,
usually
They
just
started
shouting.
shouting Snake. Yeah.
Snake time paradox.
Oh, and that's the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Which that
Yeah,
started
that's
with,
what it is.
That started with Solid though. Yeah. This is
So-
the original Metal Gear.
and that didn't have any elements of that in it.
No,
Can we hear
I
it
don't-
again?
Okay, once again.
It's got a similar vibe going.
Oh, we should go back to that.
Different melody.
I know, it's really good. Our suggestion this week, our video game 20 questions suggestion comes from Brant Hurley in Pocatello, Idaho.
Okay, don't screw us over.
Let the questioning begin.
Whoa. Did this game come out before 1990?
Nope.
Did it come out after 2000?
Yes.
January 1st, 2000? Okay.
Yes.
Whole decade's gone.
Yep.
Did this game come out on an optical-based media?
Yes.
Was this game developed in America?
No.
Does this game have? Is the series still running?
This series is not still running. No. That's 5.
I don't know. Was this game developed in Japan?
Yes.
Okay.
Does this have a realistic art style?
No.
I feel like we need to narrow down time frame because we're only after 2000 right now.
Oh yeah.
Is this
Okay.
game an HD game?
No.
Was this a handheld game?
No.
We're in real trouble here.
Yeah.
Remember, it's optical-based media.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
We
not
eliminated PSP.
It's not PSP. Yeah, it was my bad.
Is this published by a developer that has conferences at E3?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's 10.
Ooh. So it's got to be what doesn't
Is this
got
a
to
first-party game?
Yes.
First party.
Was this game developed by Sony?
No.
Whoa.
Same question, Microsoft?
No, it's Japanese.
Oh, yeah, same. Well, it
So
could,
it's
still
got to
could
be
be Japanese.
Well,
I think
but
we
it's first
safe
party.
to say like, yeah,
All right,
is
this is
Nintendo the first
Nintendo?
party?
Hold on.
Is this a Nintendo game?
Yes, it's a Nintendo game.
So it's probably that means it's probably GameCube
It's got to be.
or Wii.
Well, yeah, Wii's not HD.
So it's Wii.
Could be
Got
Wii.
that dig in.
Wait, so it's an HD game?
Not
No,
HD.
it's not an HD.
Not an HD.
So it could be
Wii was an
GameCube
HD.
or Wii because Wii's not.
Is this a GameCube game?
Yes.
Okay.
Man, that was a walk.
6 questions to go.
Wait. Let's be smart about this.
There's no way to do that.
Wait. But we said it was first party, right? It's a first
Yeah,
party
it's a
game.
first party GameCube game.
All right,
so
it's Mario Sunshine.
is this does this game
Well, the series is not around ananymore. That's
Oh,
the one big clue.
so no
Pick-
Mario, no
could be-
Zelda.
could be Pikmin?
That series
it's a
is still
stretch.
around.
Yeah, but is it? I mean, I
It
want
is.
it to be.
It is.
In my heart, it is.
What if it's Battalion Wars
Yeah, that's a good guess.
or Hey You Pikachu? No, that was 64. And Pokemon's still around, so I don't know if Damon would give us that one.
Also, wait a minute.
WarioWare.
Weird ones.
Could be a Nintendo
Yeah.
64 game. A very
It's
late Nintendo
optical,
64.
so it's an
Oh,
optical-based
it's
game.
gotta be a disc.
64 DD.
That's that
Not
one
around
Zelda
anymore.
game.
I think all the sports franchises have come back. Obviously Smash. Oh man, does Luigi's Mansion still count as around?
Yeah, that's
Should we
still
ask
around.
the Smash Brothers question?
But that's I see what you're saying.
Are any of the characters that star in this game playable fighters in Super Smash Brothers?
Yes.
F-Zero.
That's 15.
Oh,
It's
be a good one.
It's F-Zero X, except that wasn't Nintendo made. That was Sega made. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
but
they
he said.
published
But
it.
remember, he's like Nintendo
Okay.
published it.
would be F-Zero
It is a Nintendo
GX,
game.
yeah.
Could be Star Fox Adventure. Could be F-Zero.
Yeah, F-Zero is a really good one.
I only got 5 questions though. I don't want to be smart about it.
You don't want to be smart about it?
Yeah, I
Then
wanna
let's
be-
just
Do you
blow
pilot a
us.
vehicle in this game?
You do not pirate.
Oh boy!
That eliminates Star Fox and.
But not Star Fox Adventure. Wait, do you ever drive the R-Wing?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't
can't remember.
Nobody remembers.
But I do.
I
actually
feel like you guys need some help. I just want to say this series is around. It is not around anymore, but that doesn't mean it doesn't star famous characters that still are. So just keep that in mind. You're trying to think of
Okay.
characters that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
No, you said it's
No,
a
no.
playable character. Like I've been trying to think of like Luigi's Mansion, like so what's some Mario spin-off franchise that was around in the GameCube era that is not around anymore. There's Metroid Prime. Mm-hmm. I guess that still counts as around because they announced a sequel.
Yep.
Yeah. Is this a game that's a Mushroom Kingdom set game?
No.
Is Isle Delphina cat?
Yeah,
What about Donkey Konga?
dude, I love Donkey Kong.
This is
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
Yeah, Jungle
Yeah.
Beat. I mean, yeah, I guess I meant that. Yeah.
We can ask.
But that counts as Mario Kingdom. It's got Donkey Kong in it.
I don't know what to call those kingdoms. Would you say that Donkey Kong and Mario are in the same kingdom?
That doesn't count as a
No.
20 questions question.
I understand. The Donkey Kong Country games are not in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Do you play this game with bongo drums?
Yes.
Is it Donkey Kong Jungle Beat?
No.
Are you sure you want
Is it
that?
Donkey?
no,
Is it
he has
Donkey?
two more
Wait, we still have one more question. We still have one more question. Nail it down even more.
Because there's Donkey Konga and
There's-
Donkey Konga 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but we only get.
Is this game a sequel?
No.
Why would you ask if it's a sequel?
So now it's just Donkey Kong. It's got to be.
It could be Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
You didn't help us eliminate the one thing we could have done. We could have
You
just
asked the exact. wrong-
Isn't that one a sequel?
No.
Oh,
There's
we're
Donkey Kong
screwed.
Konga and Donkey Kong Konga 2, but then there's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, a platformer.
It's probably Donkey Konga.
It probably
Because
is.
Damon was being nice to us.
But
If
do you
it's
control-
not Donkey
but can we
Konga-
use the clues we have to put this back together?
No.
No, because in Donkey Konga, do you ever pilot a vehicle?
No. It's just a rhythm game.
But what do you control?
I don't know.
Bongo drums.
Yeah.
And is Donkey Kong in it?
Yeah, he's hella.
Maybe it's just Funky Kong. I've never played that game.
Dude, I played a lot. I played a lot of
I played
Donkey
Jungle
Konga.
Beat a lot.
I didn't play any
Is it
Donkey
is it
Kong.
Donkey Konga?
Yes, it is Donkey Konga on the 20th question.
Mark walks away unscathed.
Donkey Konga.
Developed by Namco, because it's actually a Taiko Drum Master game, just
Yeah.
with the Donkey Kong skin.
Oye, como va?
Is that in it?
Yeah.
I think Louie is in it too, actually,
Yeah.
which we heard from
Dude,
California Games
I know
last week.
you like. It's never come up in this show, but I actually
man.
I know a lot about Donkey Konga and play it a lot.
I need to find like a game, a winning little jingle that I can play when you guys get it right.
I liked it so much I
do you
bought a
got?
second.
No,
that's pretty good.
Those are just no.
There it is.
No, hold on. Now you're like settle down.
I bought a second set of conga drums so that me and my girlfriend, who I'm now married to, we used to play Donkey Konga a lot together when we were in college.
Yeah.
Aww.
Listeners, correct me if I'm wrong. I do not think the Donkey Kong Country games take place in the Mushroom Kingdom.
I've never
I think
thought
those are
about those
separate.
games.
Well, if we would have
taking
lost
place.
this, I would have argued with you on that one.
Yeah, that's some good Nintendo lore there, like the
Yeah.
Mario lore of the Donkey Kong Country games versus the Nintendo games.
Does Mario Sunshine take place in the Mushroom Kingdom?
Yes. It's got Bowser Jr.
It takes
in
place on Isle Delfina.
That's fine.
That's far away from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Did we get a spoiler about that in Odyssey? Like, is that one of the lands that he like flies over?
What if we would have asked, is this take place in the Mario universe? What would you have said?
He said no.
I would say no.
Yeah, we
I didn't
guessed
say
it.
Mushroom Kingdom.
But I would still say no.
That's so weird.
But it
What
actually,
is the Mario universe then?
Exactly.
well, but in the Mario universe, Mario and Donkey Kong are together a lot.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Yes,
Cranky
but
Kong
it's a
is the
different-
original Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But it's a different Donkey Kong. Even he even has a different art style in like the Mario versus Donkey Kong.
But he's got
game.
the same tie.
He does have the same tie. But like the Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong 94, like it looks totally different from Donkey Kong Country.
That's just, isn't
But-
that
but
like
that's
New York
Cranky
City?
Kong.
Isn't that just Earth?
Well, you go to all different places.
Yeah.
And then in Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong and Pauline are both in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's part of the same universe.
This game, Donkey Konga, is part of the same universe.
I think Pauline is what actually ties it all together.
Also, they all race in carts together.
That's true. And fight each other.
That's true.
I think we got this in 19 questions. Everybody.
And play tennis together.
Are the Smash Brothers games in the Mushroom Kingdom?
No, the canon of Smash Brothers is that you're a child playing with toys, and they're having the toys fight together,
You're a child with just a heck of a lot of toys.
and that's why the final boss is Master Hand.
Gotcha.
They completely dropped that aspect of the lore after the first Smash Brothers, but if you go watch the very original opening of the original Smash Brothers, it's like a kid opening his toy box. That's why there's the little trophies too.
Well, thank you for the suggestion. Brant Hurley in Pocatello, Idaho. Listeners, if you have your own Video Game 20 questions, suggestions, or questions for us, email them to gamescoop@ign.com. If you're going to PAX East next week, make sure to come to our panel March 28th, Thursday, 12:30 p.m. in the Albatross studio. That is all the scoops that we have for you this week. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Mark. My name is Damon. This is IGN Game Scoop, and we're out.
those.